I had miscalculated how much water I needed for my walk, and this was a week long journey, and the reason I miscalculated was because I thought there was a river, and I thought I could collect water there because on the map it showed that there was access to fresh water through this river, and of course it was dry, and immediately you get into a point where you're just like, whoa, I could possibly die right now because your options are very limited. And then you go into like pure survival mode. So, and to me, I thought of it as like a fun game. It's like playing a video game, when you look at your life vitals and it's going down, but the game gives you options to live. It's like, oh, if you do this, it's going to be very difficult, but you could survive. So it was like either I could distill the salt water with by cooking it and collecting the vapor, which would be very slow and cumbersome. It would take a long time. Or I could dig the sand and look for fresh water there, but it might be a hit or miss, most likely a miss. Um, or I could find some shade and wait it out and wait till the evening to drop and have whatever left of my water and then just do like a full sprint to the next location where I needed to go. So I ended up going for option three. Decided to go for a full sprint, wait for the evening. Took some shelter in the shade, and I felt like, okay, I'm gonna rest up. And but before that happened, I passed out, and because I was really so close to having severe dehydration, and I remember passing out, and I looked up, and I remember like falling back on the beach on the sand, and I looked up, and there was a seagull that flew over me, and I could remember feeling so at peace. But when that seagull looked at me, it's almost like I zoomed into its face. When I saw it look at me, it almost felt as if I vortexed into its existence in a way where I became the seagull looking back at myself on the beach. And I remember, yes, this is a hallucination, but it's telling me something. And the hallucination was essentially me being the bird looking at myself. And I saw a vision of my body on the beach with blood, although I wasn't bleeding, but I saw like blood coming from my body into the water and merging together. And to me, it was that same kind of feeling that, let's say, if you're on ayahuasca. I've never done ayahuasca, but I'm assuming I think it's a similar journey that a lot of people talk about, where you essentially feel one with everything else. And it's not just to know that, but I felt it and experienced it. I was dying and I was becoming one with the organism of Earth because we are literally a part of Earth's organism, right? The surface of the Earth is that thing that we are made out of. It's like skin cells to skin, and we are the cells. And I began to understand that and feel it and know that inherently. And I could see myself merging with everything. And so what kept me going is the question was really that I no longer had fear after that. Fear just disappeared. I was no longer afraid of dying because I felt like I could not die, even if, like, yes, my physical body is gone, but I feel like we are all part of the organism that we share, and therefore I will always be a part of that. As a human body, I think our egos, we separate ourselves from that, and that makes us want to believe that we are above the thing that we are made out of, which is incredibly wrong. And that lacking of fear is what actually drives you forward. A lot of people, when they have fear, like the best thing to do sometimes in these survival situations is to actually sit and to die, because you can just sit and you're just like, okay, I'm going to rest, because it's easier to do that than to keep going. You know, a lot of people in Mount Everest who actually die in the death zone, which is like, 8,000 meters above, it's sometimes easier to just to give up than to keep going, because it's just so hard, so painful. And the brain is just like wanting you to just, like, everything in your body is telling you to quit. Your cells are dying, you're lacking oxygen in your brain, and the fear absolutely stops you. And so me having this lack of fear is what continued my journey moving forward. I didn't have the fear of feeling more pain. I didn't have the fear of, okay, I need to do more work and step it up. I didn't have the fear of, well, what if this happens and that happens? If I needed rest, I would rest. And it was really that kept me going. There's nothing really else that can keep you going. Like, you can't say stuff like, today's going to be I'm going to motivate myself. Motivation doesn't even help at this point. It's essentially just become like letting this journey become a part of your life. Like how people wake up to go to 9 to 5 and they really truly believe that they need to go to work. Otherwise, like, their life is completely done. You know what I mean? Like, at that level, that's what I believed, what my journey was at that level. That I needed to wake up in the morning, put on my boots, walk 12, 15 hours a day with my 40-pound backpack, and just do that every single day. And I didn't see it as a burden or as a huge obstacle in a way. I saw that as my living, like the way that I live. And when you add that to your expedition, it no longer becomes as hard as people might think it is. It just becomes like daily life.